Brothers, welcome back to Territorial IO and welcome to Caucasia. Full sitting against humans is not allowed. We got 20-some players in this one. We'll try and find a little spot for ourselves. I don't really like that one. Let's move down here. This seems a little bit more crowded, but it's a little bit more spaced out than what's up there. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable with this. I'm also experimenting with a little bit more chill music in the background. Let me know what you guys think about that. It just kind of felt right today. You know, it's all kind of gloomy outside. You know, you just want to curl up with a little bit of hot cocoa and just hang out. And that's kind of the vibe I was feeling today while I was recording. I was just like, let's just do it. So we do have player 970 over to the east of us. We also have a player over to the west of us, and we're kind of sandwiched in the middle of those two players. We'll see what we can do between Romans and 970. But we have a pretty good start for ourselves right now. We're going to be able to get all this land down in the south. What comes next? Well, I think we have to push up north. Now, I'm not ruling out going any direction at this point, especially because there's so much land to the south, but I'm just looking at the map, and 970 is probably going to cut me off from going to the east, and Romans is going to cut me off from going to the north. So we can actually get around Rango. That would actually be a pretty good one. But what's really just kind of focused right now about getting the lowest bot on the table. We have Romans giving us the heart. He might be a bro, but we'll push up for right now. We do have, like I said, a lot of opportunity up north. And we have cut off player 970, so we're really starting to sandwich him in. There's a lot of weak players over there. 740 is also pretty weak. And so we'll just keep pushing up north, see how lucky we can get. This is pretty greedy, I'm going to admit. I probably should have slowed down a little bit and start building up my troops, especially because Romans is pretty high in his troops. But hey, it's free land. You know, you got to risk it for the biscuit sometimes. So let's go ahead and just grab all of that free land and then just kind of sit around waiting for a good opportunity. And there is a good opportunity with player 740, actually. We are a little bit bigger than everybody else. Romans is fighting Loaf over there. Yeah, let's just jump into this. This guy's going to get really big and have a bunch of bots up north. And I feel like if we let him live, he's going to eventually become a thorn in our side where we could really just take him out right now. So take him out right now is what we are planning on doing. We'll give Romans that truce. That feels perfectly fine with me. I actually think that's a really good one for both of us, as he has to deal with Loaf over there. And we'll give a alliance with Azerbaijan, see if he wants that as well. He does. So now we're able to push through 740 with a lot more kind of gusto. We do not have as many troops as a lot of our neighbors, but once we get through this, we might even get the crown back. USA above might be a little bit of a problem for us, and Vape Nation has the crown but is a bot. Very interesting that he gave up on it so early, especially when you have the crown. What I always say is that if you're caught in a position where you have the crown, you're getting attacked, just wait. Once you lose the crown, people might, and you just, you know, fully tank everything, people might lose interest and go elsewhere. I never think it's fully worth abandoning a game. So Romans will give you the heart back, my friend, and just kind of build up from here. I would love to push through USA and get up into Vape Nation, but that just doesn't seem like it's going to happen for us in this game. So we'll just be patient, waiting for a good opportunity. But if USA really wants to keep pushing, we do have 2 million troops, which is more than our neighbors. So we could definitely get some big attacks in there. He counterattacks us. He only has 400,000 at this point, 300,000. So we might really get a chance to get some land, especially because Pakistan, our next newest neighbor, is also getting attacked himself, only has 700,000. So we can very easily knock off USA. I think with that attack, it has weakened us quite a bit. If our allies were going to gang up on us, now would be the time. But if we're able to survive this, then the game is really in our hands as to what kind of happens next, because German Empire is still going into Pakistan. So let's just go ahead, finish up USA, knock him off the board, and just kind of hang out for a little bit. No pressure to do anything. In fact, the opposite of that, there's a lot of pressure to sit back and just wait and build up. Even though Pakistan would be a really good target for us to go into right now, we just need to have a little bit more troops than our neighbors around us, especially Azerbaijan, fun name, and Romans. Even though Romans given us the heart, a lot of people give me the heart. It doesn't always mean that they're going to be on my side forever. I always like to treat it like that, but in all reality, people really do attack me more often than not with the heart. Player 970 is attacking us as well. That's perfectly fine. We'll get a little bit aggressive with Pakistan and the land that he's getting or losing. So that works out really well for us. We're sitting about 3 million troops. Now I see Get It On and D's Nuts both have 6 and 9 million troops respectively. So we need to slow down here. I'm actually going to leave that blue Russian player alone for the time being to just kind of build up my troops ever so slightly. Even though we do have 8 million, Loaf has become a bot. That's going to be really interesting for us. Now, the great thing about having these two allies in the beginning is they built a shield wall for me. They both seem to be very loyal, which is great for us. Let's go ahead and get 970 out of here. He's attacked us enough. And so right now, my plan is we're just going to build up our strength and then go into get it on. We have a great opportunity for an isolated 1v1 while everybody deals with low. And we're almost at our red interest. We're going to get about 20 million, I feel, before we get up to our red interest. Oh, just a little bit more. Yeah, this is really showing how weak we were on troops. But now let's start pushing in to get it on. We'll start kind of knocking him down, trying to fight and win this battle prior to D's Nuts conquering Loaf, because what I'm really afraid is that D's Nut is going to conquer Loaf and then immediately push into Roman and then immediately push into me. So I need to be able to get it on down faster, so he doesn't have that opportunity. I will take that truce with the Russian player over there, and we'll kind of carry him along to the end of the game, let him kind of reconquer a little bit of Get It On. I'm sure he's just been absolutely bullied in between Get It On and D's Nuts. D's Nuts is wanting me to attack Romans. That is a trap. I'm definitely not going to do that. I'm just going to finish off Get It On here, as I have, at this point, I would be really shocked if either of my two allies betray me. We've gone so far together, and now we can just kind of build up and wait for another opportunity to attack D's Nuts. The Russian player is signaling the white flag. We're going to start pushing into D's Nuts and start knocking him down. Hopefully our Russian friend joins in. Romans hopefully will join in as well, even though he wants to attack Azerbaijan. And no, the Russian player has actually betrayed me. Okay, I'm going to give him the broken heart and say, hey brother, what happened there? But what we're doing with D's Nuts is not necessarily a battle for land, it's a battle for troops. And right now we're winning that battle. He's down to 17 million troops. We're going to keep knocking him down. If he wants to keep counterattacking me, that's perfectly fine. He's wasting a lot more troops than I am defending this. As you can see, we're still at 20 million. He's all the way down to 12. So we're really starting to kind of rock through this guy. And hopefully Romans joins in. I don't really need his help. If he's in a battle with Azerbaijan, I don't want to sabotage that or really pick a side in either of those two battles. But the Russian player is really going ham. D's Nuts is finally getting attacked by Romans. Romans has seen what's going on. So let's take a moment to really punish this Russian player up here, as he's greatly overextended. He went down all the way to 3 million troops there for a minute, and now he's back at 3 million. So we'll quickly wipe him up. D's Nuts doesn't have enough troops to withstand Romans' attacks. And worst case scenario, we'll quickly be able to come back into the fight with D's Nuts. But I just wanted to quickly wipe out that guy, as he was just getting a little big for his britches. D's Nuts down to 10 million troops. We'll start kind of wiping him down, as Romans is still attacking. Romans, you've earned that heart. You're a real bro. As D's Nuts has become a bot, the loyalty of friends, the power of friendships once again conquers all, as D's Nuts is now just that bot, and he's got 4 million troops left. No need for us to go crazy right now, as I don't really... These guys have both been great allies. I don't need to test that by going down very low on troops, even though I'm sure I could survive it. But we get the victory all the same. So we'll go here and get Sparta. And then there we go. We've made it to the end with all of our friends. Let's give the heart. Let's give the claps of good sportsmanship. And let's give the kissy face for the boys. And then we'll go on to the next game. There's the piece. There we go. On to the next one. All right, next game up is going to be a little Halo action. There's 7 players in this one. Nice little juicy small player action game. We'll see what we can do here. We pick a nice little spot for ourselves in the northwestern part of the map, looking just kind of for a good opportunity to grow. If we start to get crowded in with another neighbor, we're just going to leave. The map is big enough that we don't need to worry about it, but we do get a pretty good spot. I did see that there was a player who spawned on the island to the southwest of us. Not that concerned with that player. Typically when people spawn on islands, they have a really hard time coming back and being a real force. Obviously minus the island in the middle. That happens plenty, even though I will say that is a much tougher spot. It's kind of like being in the middle of the USA. People are going to attack you if you have the crown. But what my strategy here is to follow a nice growth pattern, not get too ambitious with taking over bots, come into every attack with a good amount of troops, and when we start bordering peoples, have enough troops that we're intimidating enough that they don't want to attack. So we're going to actually take this a little bit slow, making sure to hit on the weakest of the weak bots. We could use the spacebar feature for this. If you missed that update, you can now hit spacebar to attack the weakest person, but it is kind of finicky, I will say. It doesn't always attack the person who is like, yeah, that person has a lot of land, but all their troops are gone. It doesn't really calculate that always. So I prefer just to click myself. As we do start to come up against the white player in the south, I imagine that, yep, that is the player, Pakistan Empire. I saw his name there for just a brief second. and he is pushing down south, but we do have a lot more troops than he does, so we don't necessarily need to worry about him as we do get the crown. But we'll see if we can boat around him and just continue on our war path over here. As again, we're just being very cautious here. I don't see any other players over here, so we're not exactly rushing for land, but at this point I'm focusing on cutting players off from the land I have. Not so much. Oh, we did attack Pakistan. That's why he's attacking us so frequently. Okay, he's really going ham on those attacks. That's perfectly fine. We're just going to ignore it. I wish that didn't happen because that actually weakens us pretty substantially. Not to the point where Pakistan could take us on, but if we get ganged up on by these two players over in the east, that could spell trouble for us. So we'll take out Kathy, the rest of the bots here, start cleaning up a little bit. Azerbaijan, oh, it's my boy. He was the guy from the last game. He's in this one. That's too funny. But we'll just kind of work through this, go through our progressions, getting through the rest of these guys over here, and then this guy. And I think we'll be a little bit risky here. I think we have the troops to do this, to just keep boating around, grabbing the land so that we get to a point, and Pakistan only has 1,000 troops, so let's really punish that. But I do want to make sure that I get so big to the point where it's going to be really hard for anyone to attack me, and I will attack this guy as he had a lot of troops away. We were able to get a good chunk of land. Same thing with Pakistan. We'll just go ahead and finish him off as well. And just continue pushing into these last bots. Azerbaijan is going to cut us off. He is the second strongest player on the board. Unfortunately, I might have to attack him. I don't really like piecing out with a lot of players, and I don't feel like even though we were just in the game together, I might need to attack him. We'll see how it kind of goes. The JFH guy is going down pretty heavily, so we'll just take him out and wait for a good opportunity to do so. We do need to be building up our troops and kind of worrying about that. So we can let bot do all the heavy lifting there, as we will now come in for cleanup duty and knock him out of the game. We do have 178,000 pixels, so we'll grab some of these islands over here. I don't think a lot of people realize that these islands aren't already mine. They're actually Pakistan's, but we share the similar white color, so it gets confusing, especially when you're zoomed out or playing on mobile. So we'll just kind of sit back, wait for the good opportunity here. We're not going to truce with Azerbaijan. I do think we will truce with Jinnah, though. We'll give Jinnah a good truce. No need for us to go into him. Pakistan is still attacking us, but at this point, it's kind of a non-factor. So we'll just save up our troops, waiting for the good opportunity to kind of push through Azerbaijan. I do think I want to go into him as he's pretty low on troops. And yeah, let's just start the attack here. We'll see if him and Roman team up against me. That's kind of honestly what I'm looking for, is just a little bit of drama to make this game slightly more exciting instead of just the typical steamroll. So we'll just keep pushing in Azerbaijan, see if we can inspire the Roman Empire to fight against us. If that happens, we'll adjust our tactics accordingly. I don't think we need to worry about Jinnah above us at this point, though. If Roman did turn tables on me, I think I'd still go into Azerbaijan. Just keep knocking him down, as he only has 5 million troops left and a ton of land. He has over 100,000 pixels. He does leave the game and becomes a bot. So we'll quickly just kind of wipe through the remainders of the bot here and take him out. He's got 2 million troops left. Roman Empire does seem to be very passive here and not doing anything. So I think this last attack will get us there. And if it doesn't, no, I think that'll be pretty good. That gets us through him. And I don't think we really need to go through the Roman Empire. Jinnah gives the wave. No worries, Jinnah, you're in this with me. Let's see if we can get Roman a truce and look for the peace here. As we do start to wrap things up, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made this far in the episode. If you have made this far in the episode, hey, give it a thumbs up. Really helps out a lot. If you're new around here, subscribe for more. I put videos every day. But boys, I will see you in the next one.